Do you get annoyed with others because they don't do what you think they should, or what you expect them to do? Perhaps you have a family member that always arrives 30 minutes late, or a team member that needs constant reminding about upcoming deadlines. Well, I have some tips for you to set clear expectations and get what you want. Expectations are simply what you expect of somebody else in any given situation. They could be explicit, such as a job description listing lots of tasks, or implicit, such as some of those unsaid agreements you have with your family. Expectations set boundaries, create clarity, and improve communication. The first tip is to be really specific. For your late arriver, don't just say the event starts at 11 a.m. Try to be on time. Instead, be really specific about what is happening at 11 a.m. That means that you really want them to attend. Perhaps it's, I'm going to make my husband do a really awkward speech at 11 a.m. and we'll be able to torment him for the rest of our lives. The same applies in work situations. If it is a team member, don't say, I expect you to do a really good job on this report, which is actually really vague and could mean different things to them than it does to you. Try and be really clear about what it is about their report that you want them to complete to give them some clarity, such as, I expect you to provide me that report by 12 o'clock on Friday, and it needs to include the following sections. Tip 2 is to set realistic expectations. Don't set expectations that are impossible to meet. For your late arriver, perhaps you do just have to give in and tell them that the event starts at 10:30, because then you'll know that they always arrive 30 minutes late and it won't matter because it actually starts at 11. And you know that they fundamentally have a big aversion to arriving to anything on time. I may have a family member who kind of fits in this category, and the current threshold is at least an hour. So we all have an unwritten agreement that we're going to tell them that the event starts an hour earlier than it actually does, so that we can really hope that they're going to arrive on time with everybody else. But no doubt, we will have to shift the goalposts at some point, as they tend to get later and later every time. For your team members, if you are requesting something from them, make sure that you know it is within their capability and experience to complete the task, and that you're not setting expectations for something that is completely outside of their capability. You will just end up disappointed and annoyed, and they, if they really care about their job, are probably going to end up stressed out. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Nikki and I've been in leadership for over 17 years, going from leading just 2 people to leading leaders of large teams. And if one of these tips, even just one, resonates with you and you're not currently subscribed, I would love it if you could, and then I will know that this is something that is of interest to others. Tip 3 is to communicate your expectations clearly. Don't just assume that people already know what the goalposts are, or get annoyed because they should already know what I expect of them because this is actually their job. If you want somebody to fulfill all your hopes and dreams, at some point you need to tell them what these hopes and dreams are. For the late arriver, in my particular situation, they are also a little technology challenged, which is another gift for the family to try and keep them organised. The communication strategy in this particular situation is to text them the details of the event that we're trying to get them to, and then call them to discuss it, follow-up messaging, and then call all the other people that they might potentially call and ask questions about it so they can remind them too. There's also some sort of strategy in there about them not telling them the real time of the event, because then it's going to unpick all that good work of setting good expectations. This is a clear communication plan that is probably more extensive than most situations would require. However, it does highlight the importance of adapting the communication to the situation that you have. You could have team members that respond a lot better to face-to-face communication. Others may need things written down, and an email format is better. Adapt to the individual that you are talking to so that you can make sure that how you're communicating your expectations is how they like to receive communication, so you have the best possible chance of it landing with them. Tip number 4 is to get buy-in. It's all very well clearly articulating your expectations of what you need from them, but you're gonna need them kind of on the train and on board with what you want to ensure that they actually meet those expectations. For the late arriver, in my situation, it is usually an event that they actually want to attend. But I know that that really specific why that time exactly is important to get across to them. I know with this particular family member that if there's some kind of joke or something that's humorous that is happening at a certain time that is going to give them the opportunity to torment somebody afterwards, it is a pretty good reinforcement of why they want to attend at that time. For team members, we often need to think about the what's in it for them factor too. Perhaps it's working towards a promotion, and completing the task or project that you expect them to is a way to get them further on the pathway to achieving that. Another tactic is to make it really clear how it contributes to the wider team or the organisation. It can help people to feel connected to some sort of purpose. Others may be motivated by having their name tied to a particular project, and that's enough to give them the energy to do a really good job because they know their name's going to be on it. Everyone is different and will have individual drivers and motivators that will impact how well they do what it is that you expect them to do. So if you can adapt what you need to connect them with those, it can make it easier to get a good outcome. So now you've set clear expectations. What do you do now? Well, now you really need to follow it through and actually hold them to account. How do you do this effectively? Check out the video linked on your screen for tips on how to hold people to account. And thanks very much for watching.